7 News always investigating. A mediator deciding how to divide the money donated to the Aurora movie theater victims. 7 News uncovering who's getting money and who isn't.
New at 5 as friends and family prepare to say goodbye to Jessica Ridgway. A former FBI agent tells 7 News why he fears this frightening story may play out again.
And a beautiful Monday with temperatures in the 70s. It's going to get warmer, but then it's going to get really windy.
New information about the mystery eye found on a beach. The creature experts now believe this giant eyeball came from.
Right now, always investigating. This is 7 News.
And nonstop news begins with 7 News asking if the man arrested for kidnapping and assaulting a girl in Wyoming is the same man who tried to kidnap 2 children in Arvada.
Police saying that neither case is connected to Jessica Ridgway and that abduction. 7 News reporter Lance Hernandez always investigating. And Lance, the man arrested has ties to Colorado.
Mike, and both in Teller and Larimer counties. Now, authorities aren't releasing the suspect's name yet, but court records in Gallatin County, Montana show that a 39-year-old Jesse Paul Spear was advised in court this morning that he's being held for kidnapping and sexually assaulting a Cody, Wyoming girl. Now, we asked Arvada police if they suspect him in any of their attempted abduction cases.
We don't know if they are related, but our detectives are considering all possible leads and information. They will be looking at that, but there's no way of knowing at this time if they are related.
Arvada police investigating an attempted abduction September 9th near Quaker Acres Park. Another September 12th near Fitzmorris Elementary. This is a sketch of the attempted abductor drawn up by Arvada police. This is a Facebook photo of Jesse Paul Spear, who's being held without bond in Montana for kidnapping a girl in Wyoming. He used to live in Colorado in Manitou Springs, Divide, and Estes Park. Spear is a well-known photographer who has shot many mountain scenes. Are they the same man? Parents in Arvada tell 7 News they'd like to know. As a mom, do you want it to be the same?
I do, absolutely. As a mom, I want it to be the same. I want this person to be caught and, be punished, and so the community can just rest a little bit easier.
Now, Wyoming police were able to track Spear to Montana because of a license plate number we checked, and he has no criminal history here in Colorado. I'm Lance Hernandez, 7 News.
And just into 7 News, Jessica Ridgway's family speaking out as they prepare for her memorial tomorrow here at Faith Bible Chapel. Her cousin telling us this afternoon keeping busy planning the memorial is helping keep the family together.
She was the baby of the family, but she was not only that, she was the best part. She was the most fun.
A standing room only crowd expected for that memorial tomorrow night. It will be at Faith Bible Chapel at 62nd and Ward, and the service will start at 7.
New at 5, 7 News getting an FBI perspective into the Jessica Ridgway case. 7 News reporter Lindsay Sablon talked to the former agent in charge of the Rocky Mountain region. Lindsay, he's telling you
the last thing that Bob Pence wants to do is panic the people in this neighborhood who are already mourning the loss of Jessica Ridgway. But his past training suggests that the suspect is still in the area, and he tells me people who commit horrific crimes like this typically have the urge to do it again.
It may be just this person is initiating a sick a mind, and it's going to involve additional crimes, additional acts.
A frightening thought, but maybe reality when talking about Jessica Ridgway's killer.
I'd be concerned about watching the children more carefully here for the indefinite future.
Former FBI agent Bob Pence tells 7 News several aspects of this case are outside the norm, including the backpack found 6 miles from Jessica's home, 6.5 miles from where her body was found.
It's a situation that doesn't always occur in a kidnapping. Leaving a clue like that. So I don't think it was accidental. I'm sure it was put there for a purpose.
Whether it was to taunt police or used as a diversion.
Any kind of unusual behavior.
Pence says the FBI profile is just one tool.
Somewhere, this person has probably given off some type of a suggestion or clue that things are not all right.
And that's why he says investigators are counting on help from the community.
And it might not come to you the first day or the first week. It might be something that comes as a recollection.
You're looking at Chelsea Park, which is where Jessica normally met her friends. As you can see, that memorial continues to grow. We've seen dozens of kids and their parents coming here, dropping off teddy bears and flowers. As of today, Westminster police tell us they've received more than 4,000 tips. Pence tells me that the police are going to be able to narrow those tips down now that they have identified Jessica's body. Live in Westminster, Lindsay Sablon, 7 News.
You can learn more about the Jessica Ridgway investigation on our website, thedenverchannel.com. You can also watch a live stream of tomorrow's memorial, learn how you can financially help the family, and find a slideshow of pictures about this case.
A news alert right now on the C. Boulder campus, where the engineering building is under evacuation because of an odor. Air Tracker 7 was over the building about 45 minutes ago. And until about 30 minutes ago, only the chemical wing was evacuated. That evacuation has since expanded to include the entire building. A plan released today for the Aurora Victim Relief Fund. 7 News breaking down how nearly $5 million in donations collected will be distributed. Always investigating, 7 News reporter Amanda Koss discovering that victims who did not require overnight hospitalization and claims for mental trauma will not be compensated.
And we found that some who were inside the theater will not be included. But here's how the donations and the distribution will break down. 70% will go to families of those who lost their lives, along with those who had permanent brain injury or paralysis. The remaining 30% of this donation, the distribution here, will go to victims who were injured. But how much they get is based on how long they were at the hospital. Victims, families, wounded by the same tragedy inside the Century 16 Theater. They first stood together in August, pleading for help after more than $5 million in donations collected under the name of the Aurora Relief Fund.
And they used our children's pictures, our dead children's, or at least in my case, child's picture, to do that.
Kenneth Feinberg was finally called in to mediate. He determined how the fund will be distributed. 30%, nearly $1.5 million, for victims who were physically injured, based on how long they stayed in a hospital. How much has not been determined, but 70% of the fund, about $3.4 million, will be divided among the victims with permanent brain damage, permanent physical paralysis, and the families of the 12 who were killed. Mothers, daughters, sons, fathers who lost their lives. Gordon Cowden's children lost their father and stand to receive about $200,000.
They would go live under a bridge if they could have their dad back.
We talked with their mother on the phone about the disbursement.
For me, I'm just now getting the opportunity to mourn because it took so long to fight these people for this money that goes to my kids.
And when will they get that money? It depends on when all of these claims are received. We obtained this copy of the paperwork that victims and victims' families will need to fill out. The deadline for them to submit those claims is November 1st. And depending on how many are submitted, that is what will determine how much money those victims will get in those claims. Reporting live from the newsroom, Amanda Kost, 7 News.
Right now, a Greeley man behind bars awaiting sentencing. Alex Smith pleading guilty today to charges he conspired to sexually assault a child. Smith's roommate called police after Smith told him he wanted to invite a friend and his daughters over, drug the friend, and then assault the girls. Smith will be sentenced in December.
An argument is believed to have led to a shooting this morning on Steele, just north of I-70. The male victim came into this gas station with a gunshot wound to the stomach. Denver police say he was in the middle of an argument with a woman when a man came by and shot him. The victim is expected to survive. No word on the shooter. And the search is on for a murder suspect in Aurora. A man found dead near Jewel and Havana Saturday night. Aurora Police Department not releasing many details right now. So far, they haven't named the victim or any possible suspects.
President Barack Obama and Republican challenger Mitt Romney getting ready for tomorrow night's debate. Democracy 2012 starts with a look inside the debate hall at Hofstra University in New York. Unlike the debate here in Denver 2 weeks ago, this debate will be more of a town hall meeting with questions coming from a panel of undecided voters as picked by the Gallup organization. And new polls show just how important those undecided voters are. The latest Gallup tracking poll shows Mitt Romney with a 2-point lead over President Barack Obama. That's about where the numbers have been since the Denver debate. A Rasmussen tracking poll shows the race even tighter. Romney with just a 1-point lead. But in this poll, 2% of voters said they were undecided. Well, you can watch tomorrow's town hall style debate right here on 7 News. Coverage on TV and online starts at 7 o'clock.
Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football tonight. 7 News sports anchor Aaron Anderson, San Diego now for the great big game.
And Aaron, a lot on the line as the Broncos try to even up their record.
Greetings from Qualcomm Stadium. This is where the Broncos won their first Lombardi Trophy. Tonight is not the Super Bowl, but a lot at stake, as you mentioned. Yes, there's a division showdown between two teams duking it out for first place. Chargers, one of 3 AFC teams with a winning record. Now, as strange as that sounds, the Broncos can take the division lead with a win. We know that this man will have a lot to do with what goes down. This is Peyton Manning, who arrived here at Qualcomm a little over an hour ago. Over the last 3 games, he's been flawless. 8 touchdown tosses, no interceptions. Tonight, number 18 gets his first taste of this Broncos-Chargers rivalry.
I think there's plenty of reasons to be motivated and ready for this game, and then, the fact that it's a division rival, and like you said, you're playing for a potential shot at first place in the division, which is certainly one of our goals.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. We got a big game coming up Monday night. This Chargers division game. This is a must-win game for us.
All right, first place up for grabs here in a little over an hour. Highlights and post-game reaction heading your way at 10, but for now, time for me to sign off. Reporting from Qualcomm in San Diego, Aaron Anderson, 7 Sports.
All right, thank you, Aaron. Well, Kindle users may soon be able to buy a few extra ebooks virtually free.
Up next on 7 News, the deal adding dollars to your bottom line.
Also, cranky kids at school, the amount of extra sleep they need to improve their day.
And mystery solved, the new information on just where this giant eyeball came from.
It's warm out there now, even a few 80s over southeastern Colorado coming up. We'll be talking about 80s for the Front Range, but strong winds on the way and rain and snow to follow. You've been watching 10 minutes of nonstop news on 7 News at 5.